Okay, good morning again. So we have read the first thing is social media in society. It is important for essay writing and most important ethics also. And maybe interview if they ask some questions like this. But essay particularly it is very important. We have to understand a study has been published by Wall Street Journal. The study highlights that 23% of teenage girls said that they felt bad about their bodies. Instagram made them feel even worse. 40% of the boys in the US said the same thing that Instagram makes them feel about themselves. Why? Because the thing is, this Instagram, YouTube, this social media shows you a world you cannot have, but like to have. It raises expectations, something nobody can match. That's why, jumping from one person to another is happening. Because you expect too much from a person, oh, उसने बुके दिया था Instagram पे तुमने तो कुछ भी नहीं दिया. ठीक है? It does not work like this. There are limitations to everything, and these expectations which are increasing. And this is a very common phenomenon that social media is often linked with social depression. Very easily it is linked with social depression because you want a world you cannot have, but that Instagram or Facebook, whatever, it shows you a rosy picture, and that is one of the reasons why people are increasing in civil services exam. क्यों इतना लोग prepare कर रहे हैं? Because there are Instagram posts where IAS ऑफिस से निकला बड़ा सा शोशाबाजी चल रहा है, वो नहीं पता अंदर जाके वो सलूट मारता है मिनिस्टर को कहता है नीचे बैठो. ठीक है, ये भी होता है साथ में. But the thing is that part is not shown. Only the part which is gloomy, the part which is glamorous is shown. The gloomy part is not shown in the social media, and you think everything is glamorous. And because of this, in spite of having what you have, you are more looking toward what you don't have rather than what you have. Of course, what is the problem? The problem is you are trying to have something you cannot, and you are not enjoying something that you have. Because of this, it is becoming a big problem. It's literally becoming a big problem, and a large number of teenagers are under clinical depression. So in that context, we have to deal with this news. If you look at users in India, whatever is getting a rough idea. Actual figures are not very important. Just have a rough idea how many users are there. Now, how to deal with this menace in India? First thing that you have is Information Technology Act 2000. It deals with social media and other platforms in India. Particularly, it has rules about encryption of data. It talks about cybercrime, electronic commerce. It even deals with digital signature. Nowadays everything is digitalized. all the digital document or the signs made on digital documents are valid under Information Technology Act 2000. Chaliye, so it's not a big problem. What is the issue is here? IT rules. These were made by Modi government in 2021 to govern social media. The problem that we have here is because Supreme Court observed this multiple times. Supreme Court asked the government to bring this rule because most important child pornography, rape, gang rape, imageries. These are very common on social media platforms. आजकल आपने देखा होगा Instagram पे भी soft porn is becoming very common now. Soft porn. कोई content नहीं है बस कुछ दिखाना है and you have millions of followers. So this soft porn is becoming bad and it is deteriorating social norms in India at a very rapid pace. And majorly Instagram is victim of soft porn और बाकी भी हैं, but Instagram particularly is there. So ad hoc committee of Rajya Sabha said the same thing, that it is very necessary to regulate social media, particularly for the health of children and most important, the norms in the societies, which are getting manipulated very easily and people are getting depressed there. Fine. So based on that, Government of India brought IT rules. Under IT rules, it says that every social media company must establish a grievance redressal mechanism. A mechanism where you can complain if there is a problem. They have to ensure online safety and dignity of users, especially of human users, because you know nowadays fake videos and fake photos are very common. Take any one picture and paste it on anything. And it deteriorates life. और इतना लोग नहीं देखते हैं. All they are like, oh, मैं तो तुम्हें किसी वीडियो में देखा है. That may be fake also. But nonetheless, it is destroying lives. A lot of lives are being destroyed just because somebody make a fake video or something. They say you must have a grievance redressal mechanism, online safety and digital users. Most important thing that they have to do is appoint a chief compliance officer. All social media platforms must appoint a chief compliance officer who will ensure compliance with the acts, that is the IT Act 2000 and the rules, the IT rules 2021 as amended from time to time. Next, they have to appoint a contact person for 24/7 coordination with law enforcement agency plus a resident grievance officer. Why resident? Because if you are foreigner, we cannot bring you under the law. If you are not an Indian citizen, how would we bring you under the law? So we need a resident grievance officer plus a monthly compliance report. This point is a bit disputed one. ये point कहता है service providers, social media including, they have to identify the nature of messaging and the most important, the first originator of information. They are the apprehension that government can use it to identify critics. The critics who writes article in something they propagate through social media platform. If government can force a social media company to tell them who is the originator of the content, then you know government of India has two favorite pet dogs by the name of EDCBI. जाओ जाके कुछ करो काम जिंदगी में. So this is a problem. Understand, it is a problem of government. Point अच्छा है. Because there are a lot of fake news which are made only to destroy the society. It has nothing more than that. Nonetheless, this point can become a point. देखा सरकार बुला मांगी. This is a point that can be used to make find the people who are government thinks as problems. सबको समझ में आ रहा है? This is a very severe point. Let's see. Next. Now the issue of intermediary status. What is the issue? Section is not important. For your reference, I have put it. Just remember the Information Technology Act. It says an intermediary is a person or entity that receives, stores, and transmits information or provides services for transmission of information. An intermediary is something in between, a social media. They are not responsible for any content. वो तो साफ बोलता है, हमें क्या पता? Intermediary. This is the problem. Once you are declared an intermediary, it is not a status. Remember, it is not a registration. All social media platforms are intermediary and they deny accountability. They say हमें क्या पता who is publishing what, but it is a lie because all social media platform has a algorithm, and that algorithm promote any content that is being watched more. आपने notice किया होगा, it creates a loop. If you watch one video of particular nature, the next suggestion is of same. Then after that same, after that same. If you keep on watching videos of same nature, maybe fake also, you can be radicalized. It's a big problem we are witnessing in India. People killing other people just because they wear some different kind of clothes, just because they eat something different. How they have been radicalized. And understand problem with radicalization. Once you radicalize a person, you cannot bring them back. That's exactly what happened with Mujahideens. Pakistan raised Mujahideen for US against USSR. When USSR went in Afghanistan 1979, USA wanted to remove USSR from Afghanistan. It knew if I enters directly in Afghanistan, it will be a nuclear war, something I cannot afford. So what they found, let's have Pakistan. They funded Pakistan by money and weapons, United States of America I'm talking about, and they raised Mujahideens. These very Mujahideens, when USSR went out of Afghanistan in 1989, they became unemployed. Radicalized people have a problem. They are potential bomb. If you do not explode them on others, they will explode on you. So they found another place known as Jammu Kashmir. Notice this: when terrorism in Jammu Kashmir starts, it starts at the ending of 1989. And 1990s, when terrorism in Jammu Kashmir became prominent. Why? Because those radicalized bombs which Pakistan used in Afghanistan now were unemployed. Pakistan knew their danger. So Pakistan thought, why shouldn't I give them a purpose? And the purpose was liberation of Jammu Kashmir. Of course, समझ में आ रहा था point. Understand, radicalization is very dangerous game, but more or less all politicians play this game. तो उसका कुछ काम नहीं करते हैं. But nonetheless, so the intermediary status has been given to social media, and they are protected from any accountability for any third-party content, provided they abide by the law. They abide by the authorities and the court. If authorities and court says to a social media company, put down this advertisement, put down this video, put down this post, if they do not, then they become accountable. Otherwise, they enjoy the status of intermediary. Clear to everyone? Social media have an intermediary status in India. So this is what happened. अब radicalization मैंने आपको समझा ही दिया. Radicalization is a very big problem, and we are living in a time where you feel that you have a free will, पर ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है free will जैसा. इसके लिए we brought something called Christchurch call to action. Christchurch is a place in New Zealand where there was a fundamentalist majority, Christian particularly. He went out on a killing spree. He took a gun, he went out and he started killing Muslims because the Islamophobia is a norm in today's world. The way once upon a time there used to be anti-Semitism. Hatred of Jew is known as anti-Semitism. And remember, Jews were killed in entire Europe. Hitler took it to another extreme. इसलिए we blame Hitler, but entire Europe was killing Jews. And this is a problem with dictatorships. Because dictatorships cannot give you basic necessity, cannot give you job, cannot give you food. So what they give you? An enemy. When you have an enemy, you forget, if I do not have food at home, you are like, oh, ये problem है मेरे पास. And they blame everything on that community. That is what Hitler did with Jews. He blamed them for everything. Germany lost in First World War because of Jews. Germany, the people are poor because of Jews. We have a Weimar constitution because of Jews. They blamed everything on the Jew, and people have a tendency. They don't want to take the blame. You are poor, so you don't want to take the blame कि I may have done something wrong. नहीं भाई, तूने ही कुछ गलत किया होता है ना अपने रिलेशनशिप, तुमने ही गलत किया था जिंदगी में. I was तो perfectly okay. लड़कों को ही बोला जाता है. लड़कों को बोला जाता है इतना सेंटी पर. वो पुराने इसे बोलते हैं मेरे कोई फॉल्ट है क्या जिंदगी में? होता है कभी बार आते हैं ऐसे फॉल्ट. But anyway, पापा नहीं मानेंगे. अब्बा नहीं मानेंगे. अब्बा तो मान गए, पर अब्बा फिर जिसे मना रहा था वो नहीं मान रही. Anyway, please remember this agreement, Christchurch call to action. It basically aims to deal with extremism online. So what it says, it has some non-binding. Please remember that Christchurch call to action, India is a signatory to this agreement, but it is not a binding agreement. It calls to combat hate and violent content online. It has been signed by government, including India, plus some major tech companies. Thanks, we know them. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. They control the world today. Understand this. You think the Prime Minister, President controls the world? No. They control the world because they control narratives. This is something that has नीचे लिखा होगा like Orwellian world. Yes, this one. It was a article written by Mark Leonard. What is Orwellian world? George Orwell wrote a novel, 1984, based on which you have a big brother show in America and India में Big Boss. It is based on George Orwell's novel. George Orwell predicted a world which is filled with surveillance systems. The government is watching you every second. The line he uses, the big brother is watching you. That big brother is watching you every second of your life, every place, even to the intimate places they are watching. So when you know somebody is watching you, would you behave naturally? Never. We all are like this. If you know someone is watching us, then we do not behave naturally. And so does happen here. A state which controls every second of your life, watches every second of your life, can control your thought process. And who is doing this? Bank companies. Let me give a quick example. That is what happened with Cambridge Analytica. It is the reason for the rise of right wing from somebody in India also. By their rising in power, social media has become a big hand for them. उससे वो fake news spread कर रहे हैं. I hope you have seen there was a spokesperson of a particular party. She said in a debate or something that India did not gain independence. It was on a 99-year lease. Yes. अब पता नहीं उसे ये बात किसने बताई. उसे ये बात किसने बताई? Social media. WhatsApp पे she must have got a forward. That forward basically says that Congress did not win independence. It was on a lease by the Britishers on 99 years. When this lease will expire, India will again become British colony. It's a lie, but she believes it.
Bright student or WhatsApp.
Graduate है वो तो bright ही है. ठीक है. तो they are similar thing. You can find numerous photos online. कुछ भी दिखा रहे. गांधी किसी का सुट्टा मार रहा है. ठीक है. नेहरू दो लड़कियों के गले में ऐसा मार रहा है. These are fake videos, fake photos. But problem is a majority of India does not understand these photos and videos, and they believe in them. That's why you have a phenomenon known as Bhakt. Understand, Bhakt is not a person. Bhakt is a phenomena. Anyone who believes in somebody without critical appraisal. I have to सोचिए the person with whom you have taken oath to live forever. एक महीने बाद आप उसमें कमियां निकाल देते हैं. And you are unable to find any weakness in government functioning. कुछ तो गड़बड़ है.
Moving no sense.
सबको समझना भक्त. And very good example is Donald Trump's election. Donald Trump election में Facebook has the data of all virtually every American. Facebook sold that data, your personal data, which you give to Facebook by every comment, every like, every comment, every like, every post that you make. You generate a data point about your identity. These companies can predict your behavior, your likely voting choices better than you can imagine. That is what we call big data analysis. So what Facebook did, Facebook sold this data to a company called Cambridge Analytica. Cambridge Analytica divided the people of America into three brands. People who are likely to vote Donald Trump, people who are likely to vote Hillary Clinton, and people who are undecided. After that, they make fake videos, fake posts, and they fed this undecided people. Through Facebook, they fed them. And how they know that these people will vote Trump? Of course, the like you make, the comment you make shows what kind of person you are. What are your political choices? What are your personal choices? They know better than you can imagine. So they gave this data to Cambridge Analytica. Cambridge Analytica sold this data to Donald Trump. Donald Trump used that data and used fake videos, and look, he became president of America. A liar, a pathological liar he is. Always he used to lie about everything. So America, which is the world's most advanced countries, saw the maximum number of people killed in Corona. Why? Because they had a pathological liar in power who told to the people, Corona is a hoax. It is nothing, don't worry. You have a Z-class security with an ambulance 24 hours outside your home. Common people don't. So America, the world's most advanced country, suffered the maximum death of Americans because they had elected a pathological liar into power. And how they elected him in power? Because of social media. This is the problem. Social media is not only endangering personal life, putting you in clinical depression. Social media is also radicalizing people, creating thugs. and social media is also influencing election every year. That's why these fan companies, it is being said, they control this world right now. आपको चाहे कुछ भी बोला जाए, but the real thing is that they control narratives, and who control narratives control the world, simply stated. अब करे क्या इनका? So some suggestions have been given. That is what is written. Citizens have illusion of, they have an illusion that they have freedom, they have empowerment. अगर ऐसा है तो try to make a comment right now in Twitter. Delhi police will greet you with freedom. ठीक है? That is the reality we are witnessing in this world. ठीक है? So please remember this. They are promoting a new form of censorship. It's a new censorship. How we understand censorship? Somebody dictating you. अब वो नहीं रहा. Nobody is dictating you. They are influencing your passive mind. They are controlling your thought. They are controlling your vision. They are controlling your ideas by feeding you narrative. और आपको पता भी नहीं है that you are being manipulated every second of your life. That is the biggest problem. They are brainwashing citizens to reject even true information as fact. सोचिए इंडिया गॉट इंडिपेंडेंस इज अ फैक्ट, अब इसे कौन डिस्प्यूट कर सकता है? But that for that girl, India is on lease of 99 years. Such a false propaganda ko she believes. Why? Because she is now a victim of a system. That is what Ravish Kumar, our journalist, has called. The social media is creating zombies in India. What is this zombie? Zombies are the people who have body without mind, and they eat anyone on a command. So these zombies are doing whistle blowing. The leader makes a whistle, चलो बेटा lynch कर देते हैं. They do not even think कि जो सामने वाला व्यक्ति है that could be the only soul, only bread earning person of a family. हो सकता है उसकी बहुत बड़ी family हो, and that person may not be doing the illegal thing. But एक post आया कि some cow is being transported from a truck, गए और मार दिया उसे. That person has a lot of people linked with it. आपने उसे तो मार दिया because you hate that person so much, you forget your own humanity. That's why they said that social media is creating zombies now. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? So that is the problem with social media. Three problems we have understood. पहला, it is making you feel bad about yourself, a clinical depression problem. Second, it is radicalizing people. Third, they are controlling world's narrative. How come you think America is right or Ukraine is right? How come Russia cannot be right? भाई रशिया इमेजिन कर लेते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ बांग्लादेश डिसाइड टू जॉइन चाइना, क्या हम टॉलरेट करेंगे इस बात को? कभी नहीं, बिकॉज़ वी हैव अ नैरो कॉरिडोर नोन एज सिलीगुड़ी कॉरिडोर. नॉर्थ ऑफ इट यू हैव चाइना, साउथ में यू हैव बांग्लादेश. इफ बांग्लादेश जॉइन चाइना पाकिस्तान अलायंस, दैट दे कैन कट ऑफ इंडिया नॉर्थ ईस्ट फ्रॉम इंडिया. वुड इंडिया टॉलरेट बांग्लादेश इस सेक्शन? किसी कीमत पे नहीं करेगा. हां, बट Putin said the same thing to Ukraine. I don't care what you do, but do not join NATO. Joining NATO means that American soldiers will be on Russian border. How could anyone tolerate? Would we tolerate Chinese soldiers in Bangladesh border? Kabhi nahi. But this narrative we do not do. Why? Because majority of social media that you view is English based. आप Russian थोड़ी ना पढ़ते हो. You do not understand Russian. You do not read Russian. So you cannot understand Russia's point of view. But you know America's point of view. Same is going with Israel. Who इसराइल का प्रीवियस क्लास में जो मैं नहीं ले पाया उसमें आई हैव डिस्कस दिस. तो इसराइल का सेम प्रॉब्लम है. देखिए इसराइल केम टू पैलेस्टाइन, कैप्चर्ड देयर लैंड एंड देन इट इज क्राइंग कि मुझे मारा जा रहा है. इट इज नॉट ट्रू. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा व्हाट हैपेंड विद द ज्यू पीपल इज नॉट बैड. बहुत बुरा हुआ, बट इट डज जस्ट बिकॉज़ समथिंग बैड हैज हैपेंड टू यू, इट डज नॉट गिव यू अ राइट टू डू द सेम थिंग टू अदर पर्सन. आपके साथ जो हुआ बहुत ही बुरा, इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी ना कि आप वो भी रिपीट करोगे किसी और के साथ. जैसे समझिए two-state plan है. Remember in Israel or Palestine case, there is a two-state plan. UN sanctioned two-state plan which says Palestine will have some area and Israel will have some area. Israel slowly is eating Palestine, and their chances by 2050 they will be not in a single inch under Palestinian control. It will be entirely Israel's. अब कौन tolerate करेगा इसे? I know what Hamas did was wrong. Yes sir. Unjust हाँ मैं मानता हूँ. हाँ मैं मानता हूँ कि भाई somebody's land you are dividing, but फिर भी मैं कह रहा हूँ for sake of peace, जितना land आपको मिला था keep it. Why you are expanding it every day? आपको land मिल चुका है ना, keep it. Have the two-state solution while you are expanding. Then they give the argument कि मैंने कभी war नहीं करी. भाई 6 days war क्या आपकी चर्चा नहीं करी थी? But we understand Israel's narrative better than Palestinian narrative. क्यों? Social media. It is dominated by American companies, and American companies means American narrative. अगर सेम चीज आई कैन पर्सनली गारंटी इफ अमेरिका वुड बी अ मुस्लिम कंट्री तो आज आप फलस्तीन के फेवर में बोल रहे होते इजराइल के लिए. Because if America would be a Muslim country, then all social media of America would be propagating the Palestinian side. They would make you see that Palestinian people are the most deprived community in the world, and you are like, oh, very sad. But you understand Israel better than Palestine because social media. This is one example that shows that social media in today's time are becoming too powerful. They control narrative, they control the world basically. They can make government, they can break governments. इसके लिए क्या करना है? तो some suggestion has been given. George Soros has said we need to regulate social media companies, treating them as public utilities. It's very high time we should bring regulation and treat all social media like public utility. And Roger McNamee has gone even further. He says treat social media as a threat to public health, the way you treat tobacco and alcohol. पीते रहिए, smoke करते रहिए, लेकिन it is still there will be a warning. Because smoking is dangerous to health. But जीना कैसे ज़्यादा ठीक है. Anyway, clear to everyone? So we have seen three problems. The possible solution is regulation of social media, and Roger McNamee has suggested consider them as a threat to public health. Even some countries like China and other, they have even started. Yes, Aditi, that is also an example. The rise of pseudo LGBTs. There are some people who are generally LGBT, the other people who think they are LGBT. How? Narrative shaping. Because America is a highly liberal country, and America में all social media giants are there who shapes narrative. And there are some people who are not LGBTs, but the social media is so heavy nowadays. This is, for example, if you've seen that Netflix series, Sex Education. उसमें देखिए उसमें homosexuality has been explored exhaustively. तो क्या होगा? The young generation which is bonding, चलो let me experiment. I'm not saying they should not. If you feel like, be it. I'm a very strong supporter of liberal choices. It's your choice. You want to love a girl, love it. छोड़ो दुनिया को. But under influence, a lot of people are doing it. Not because they are LGBT, just because they believe they are LGBT. And who shapes it? Social media. सबको समझ में आ रहा है? They are becoming a severe threat to this world. चलिए जल्दी करते हैं. We don't have time. Next news. Aadhaar. So Aadhaar में there were some issues and some things. Let's see. Aadhaar, remember, it's a proof of identity. It is a proof of identity. It is not a proof of citizenship. So International Credit Rating Agency, the Moody's Investors Services, has published a report titled Decentralized Financial and Digital Assets. So please remember the name of the report and the publisher. UPSC often asks in prelims that which of these publishes this report. Please remember that. It says that decentralized digital identity system is better than centralized system like Aadhaar. है problem है because देखिए government can claim anything, but Aadhaar data is not very safe because no data in this world is safe. You cannot protect any data, and there have been chances or there have been suggestions that a lot of data is leaked anyway. But उसमें मैं कहूँगा anyway you provide too many data yourself. आप हर दिन login करते हैं कहीं ना कहीं you provide your data. मेरी date of birth ये I like this person, I like that person. तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि आधार is giving. आपकी प्रॉब्लम है. आधार is giving you biometric data. Something you don't give. When you use social media, you give all data except biometric data. Your fingerprint, your iris scans. Aadhaar has that also. This is a problem Modi highlighted that Aadhaar is a centralized system prone to hacking, and every system is prone to hacking. Nothing is absolutely secure. Clear this thing? Let's see. तो Aadhaar के लिए हमें पता है it's a unique. It is issued by UIDAI, which is a statutory body under Aadhaar Act 2016. Remember, it is a statutory body, means made by a law of Parliament. So हमें पता है your information is collected biometric. They are secured in a database. It is one of a kind identification. It has dealt with the presence of ghost and fake individual, no doubt. Aadhaar has worked on this. Something we call this government is implementing. Jam Trinity. Jam means Chandan, Aadhaar and mobile. Aadhaar ने काम बहुत अच्छा किया है because Aadhaar has provided an identity document. So government was facing a problem in government services how to identify people. Now government can identify people using Aadhaar. Transfer money directly in your Chandan account. You can access that money using mobile. That is what is called JAM Trinity, a very good idea, very functioning idea. But remember, Aadhaar is not immune from hacking, and also Aadhaar is not immune from manipulation. Aadhaar में अभी भी easily multiple Aadhaar बन जाते हैं. I don't know कैसे बनता है because Aadhaar has biometric data. In spite of that, a lot of people have multiple Aadhaar cards. This is a thing when some IPS officers got graduated, so Pradhan Mantri was interacting with them. Online webinar or something was there. So he just out of curiosity asked an IPS professional, "What you learned on training?" तो उसने पता नहीं था या उसे समझ नहीं आया. He said, "Sir, we had a peculiar problem. A lot of people came with multiple Aadhaar cards." मोदी ने चुपचाप से इस बात को गायब कर दिया. Because देखिए उस बेचारे IPS को नहीं पता था कि he is saying something that is politically very dangerous. ठीक है, because government is saying Aadhaar is full proof. और वो उसी सेमिनार में मोदी जी से कह रहा है, "We got a lot of complaint where multiple Aadhaars were issued to same person." ठीक है, ऐसा भी दुनिया में होता है, but it was a real problem. ठीक है, there are multiple Aadhaar cases, so Aadhaar is not full proof system. That's why Modi is saying have a decentralized mechanism. Aadhaar में all data is stored in a central database. If somebody hacks that, and believe me, I can guarantee somebody will hack it. There is no system in this world which is immune from hacking. कोई ना कभी loophole निकाल ही देगा उसको. So the problem is 140 billion people will have 140 crore people will have their data available to anyone. Most importantly, enemy countries like China, Pakistan. They can use this data to manipulate your identity, force you to yield information. उसके बाद government भी कुछ अच्छी नहीं है. You know, government has used Pegasus, a spy software which मैं believe नहीं करता government ने use किया है. But some anti-national people says that government has used Pegasus. ठीक है, that is a lie, truly told. चलिए देखिए. So UIDAI मैंने आपको समझा दिया. So 2016 statutory body. It is under, please remember, it is under NIT. It is under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. It is designed 12 digit UID card and Aadhaar. फिर याद रखिए, Aadhaar is a proof of identity only. It is not a proof of citizenship. Citizenship के लिए we have a different card known as NRC card. Government is trying to go for National Register of Indian Citizens. उसके अलग ही issue में बाद में देखेंगे. So Aadhaar enabled payment system, as I told you, now more or less all services are Aadhaar linked. If you want ration card, if you want ration, go to a ration shop, verify yourself using Aadhaar, get your ration. If you want to get some money in your account, go verify and take out the money from any kiosk, something we call common service centers. आजकल हर जगह available है common service centers. So Aadhaar is indeed working a lot. ठीक है, workers Aadhaar card is linked to their even मनरेगा. मनरेगा में if you want wages, you have to authenticate using Aadhaar. It is linked to your bank account. It is NPCI. इसका नाम याद रखिएगा आप लोग. National Payment Corporation of India. It has developed Aadhaar, basically payment systems. Aadhaar इसने नहीं करा, Aadhaar तो UIDAI का. लेकिन the payment system through Aadhaar has been developed by NPCI. It is the same organization which has developed UPI. It is the same organization which has developed FASTag cards. All these things are developed by NPCI, a very innovative body of government of India. What are the concerns? पहला quantity fraud. I told you there have been numerous instances where you have an Aadhaar card in your name that is linked to your ration card. आपको पता ही नहीं. You have no idea that you have a ration card issued on your name. They use your Aadhaar detail because कभी ना कभी you must have witnessed them. They have your Aadhaar detail. On that Aadhaar detail they get a ration card issued. आपको नहीं पता होता, but government is issuing ration on your name with this ration mafia is eating up. This is a quantity problem. Next is authentication challenge. Because a large number of people in India uses their hand to work, and particularly the labor class, and because of this their fingerprints, they often get manipulated or they often get distorted, and because of this they are unable to verify their identity. इसके लिए government is trying to move to iris system. Rather than fingerprint scanning, they are moving to iris scan. देखते हैं कब तक होता है. Another is infrastructure limitation. हमें पता है reliable internet connectivity. Fading fingerprints, I told you, phone connectivity because OTP comes in Aadhaar, आपको पता ही होगा. Lack of transparency because the public data on authentication attempts and failure. There have been numerous instances. आपको मैसेज आता है somebody is trying to authenticate your Aadhaar, आपको पता ही नहीं. मैं तो गया नहीं है. But you can lock. Remember, there is a Aadhaar app. Aadhaar app से you can lock your biometric data. उस ऐप से आप लॉक कर सकते हैं. Nobody can use your biometric data unless you provide a specific OTP to enable it. आप उसे चाहे तो लॉक कर सकते हैं. You can also create something called VID, virtual ID. Rather than Aadhaar ID, you can use virtual ID which changes over time. So Aadhaar number will be the same. You do not have to share Aadhaar number anymore. All you can share is VID, and plus you can lock your biometric data. पर ये आप कर सकते हैं. Majority of India cannot do this. इतनी literacy नहीं है वहाँ. ठीक है, this is the problem. Security concern मैं आपको बता ही दिया. चलिए anyway, clear? अगली news. Third news. So we have understood some issues, some problems. Clear? Last news: Supreme Court. Multiple same-sex marriage. A lot of people are very sad today in this class, including me. चलिए देखते हैं. A 5-judge panel of the Supreme Court delivered a judgment regarding the rights of LGBTQ community members to marry and make family-related choices. पहले आप जल्दी से बताइए. How many of you think this judgment should have been good? मतलब they should be allowed to marry. कोई तो हाथ लगा तो. और 2-3 लोग ही हैं. बाकी लोग क्या? Heterosexual. It's up to the choice. आप
लीगल है बट एथिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखे तो
एथिकल से गलत है. मेरे हिसाब से एथिकल से सही है, वैसे लीगल.
अभी तो लीगली भी करेक्ट हो गया ना सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट.
लीगली कैसे?
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने वर्डिक्ट दिया.
Everything that is legal does not mean it is ethical also. Ethicality and legality are two different things. For example, India में भांग is legal, marijuana is illegal. जबकि दोनों ही hallucinating compounds हैं. But because भांग is associated with भोले बाबा, so you can have as much as भांग possible. घर में बनाओ, घर वाले भी कुछ नहीं कहते. पर वहीं पे joint smoke कर लो, घर वाले चीखना शुरू कर देते हैं. भाई both are hallucinating हैं?
वो लोग शादी कर सकते हैं, बट अगर फ्यूचर में उनका मन को अडॉप्ट कर चाहे तो वो नहीं कर सकते ना, क्योंकि उसका फ्यूचर खराब हो जाएगा. क्योंकि उसको फादर का
अरे बोलने पे ऐसे मत करो.
या तो उनको फादर का वो नहीं मिलेगा कि फादर का प्यार, या तो सिर्फ माँ दो ही माँ का प्यार मिलेगा, या दो ही फादर का प्यार.
आपके नजर में फादर कौन है, मदर कौन है? रोल बेसिस पे है या वैसे भी होना चाहिए? ज्यादातर what we are doing is we are doing stereotyping. Father मतलब authority figure working outside earning. Mother मतलब caretaker of the home. क्यों नहीं हो सकता? आज जाके काम कर सकती है.
अगर वो लड़का है तो वो माँ वाला प्यार तो नहीं दे सकता ना.
ये क्या होता है माँ वाला? चलिए anyway all आप लिख सकते हैं इसका argument if you like. All arguments are good, but I will suggest अगर आप इंटरव्यू वगैरह में ऐसे सवाल पूछा जाए तो you support right to make choice. आप बोल देना the society is not ready yet for this choice, but I strongly support a person's right to make choice. ठीक है. Again I am saying I do not understand how can a man love man, woman love woman. मेरे को समझ नहीं आता. I cannot feel it. But it does not mean I will not respect somebody's choices. जैसे आपको किसी के कपड़े पहनने समझ नहीं आता. Somebody wears a mini skirt, आप तो साड़ी से नीचे नहीं उतरेंगे. So you are like you are unable to understand that choice, but at least you can respect that person to right to make choice. यहाँ पे डिबेट ये नहीं है. Supreme Court is not saying कि भाई lesbian बन जाओ, gay बन जाओ. Supreme Court is pondering over the question. If you feel so, do you have a right or do you have autonomy over your body or not? Or the society will dictate you what you can do, what you cannot do. Again, the question here is not about you becoming lesbian, gay or whatever. The question is about right to make choice about your partner. Debate right to make choice पे. अब वो आप justify आप मानिए ना मानिए it's different.
सर राइट्स वो होते हैं जो जस्टिफाइड क्लेम हो और एक्सेप्टेड बाय सोसाइटी हो. तो ये तो एक्सेप्टेड बाय सोसाइटी नहीं हुआ.
सती आपका आर्गुमेंट है. सती when R.M. Roy fought against sati, it was a common norm in India. His own family protested against him. तो क्या उसे बोल देना चाहिए था सोसाइटी इसे एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रही, मैं नहीं लड़ूंगा. Understand society, मैं समझता हूँ society takes time to change. इतना आसान नहीं होता to adopt a new change, but just because society is lazy in adapting to change, we cannot wait for it to change. अगर R.M. Roy वेट करते कि let Hindu evolve and deal with sati, तब तक मैं चुप रहता हूँ. मैं लिखता रहूँगा, लेकिन मैं ब्रिटिशर्स को फोर्स नहीं करूँगा. पंडित ईश्वरचंद्र विद्यासागर, he fought for the widow remarriage at the time when being widow was considered as a sin. ये माना जाता था आप विडो हो तो मतलब आप ही की वजह से आपका पति मरा है. It is your fault and you have to live an ascetic life. ऐसा नहीं था. पंडित विद्यासागर said ऐसा कोई ड्रामा नहीं. वो मर गया तो मर गया, पीता होगा क्या पता. ठीक है. You have the right to marry. बात समझ में? Again the dispute here is with respect to right to make choices. And again I am saying society take time to change. अगर आप ये रिव्यू करता है anyway सबको समझ में आ रहा है. Societal norms take time to change and the debate here is not to become lesbian, gay or whatever. The Yes, right to marry is not a fundamental right. वो तो है, वैसे तो right to marriage होना भी fundamental right नहीं है. What we are trying to say is, at least everyone should have a right or dignity or autonomy over their body, as long as they are not hurting anyone. अब ये नहीं autonomy वाला body वाला कुछ भी कर रहे हैं. As long as they are not hurting anyone, things should be allowed. बाकी आपकी choice है, you can prefer anything. देख लेते हैं what is the scenario here. हमें पता है same sex marriage means union of two individuals of the same gender. It's a new term now, lesbian, gay, bisexual, whatever.
तो ये legally तो अभी तक recognize
नहीं, it is not legally recognized. वही तो हमारा point है. It is not Supreme Court has denied, which I believe Supreme Court ने काफी हद तक ठीक भी किया है. Because देखिए, this is the role of the parliament. हर चीज जजेस नहीं करना चाहिए. Because there is a problem with judges. I told you, they have a messiah complex. उनको लगता है वही मसीहा है. They are the God incarnated and they will deliver justice. और कोई है ही नहीं दुनिया में. तो ठीक है, they have restrained, but fine, देखते हैं how things will go. But I can guarantee you, चाहे आप लिखवा लेना कहीं भी, this will be around one day. अब वो one day कब आएगा वो एक अलग बात है. जब भी आ जाएगा कोई नहीं, तुम पहले कोई ले आना.
Sir, maybe they thought that this decision of giving the rights of marriage could hinder the actual marriage institution in India. Like, it can create a kind of chaos. Like, we have a set of marriage rituals and rules in Indian perspective. So they might have thought we take a step-by-step process, you know. Suddenly, अगर marriage rights देंगे, that will hinder the actual, you know, what institution we have.
It was being recognized under Special Marriage Act. It was not under Hindu Marriage Act, Parsi Marriage Act. It was under Special Marriage Act. Special Marriage Act allow you to marry intercaste, interfaith, and whatever. उसके लिए you have to register that onto the registrar of marriage or whatever they have.
So, on the societal level,
मैं कह रहा हूँ society is not ready for it. मैं तो कह रहा हूँ society is not ready for it. But just because society is not ready for it, इसका मतलब थोड़ी ना कि it is just. मैं फिर कह रहा हूँ whatever you choose. आपकी मर्जी है, debate नहीं है. जो चाहे हाँ fine it's cool. हाँ it's okay. Supreme Court ने भी ये बात बोली है. Right to marry is not a fundamental right. But they have recognized right to autonomy. बोला भी है उन्होंने कि it's a right to autonomy, but we are not the right forum. Supreme Court का argument है, we are not the right forum. If you want something out of it, go to Parliament. Ask them to make a law. Clear है यहाँ तक current status?
After this argument, a couple married in right in front of Supreme Court. So would that be legal? Would any
Illegal नहीं है ना?
Would any action will be taken on them?
उनके खिलाफ क्या एक्शन लोगे? कोई लॉ इंडिया में इसमें कोई लॉ नहीं है जो ये कहता हो कि सेम सेक्स मैरिज नहीं कर सकते. पर लॉ ये भी नहीं कहता कि पर उनको क्या होगा, they will not be recognized in any court of law, they will not be recognized in any inheritance law. आप मैरी करो, कोई रोक नहीं सकता आपको इंडिया में, because इंडिया में there is no law that prohibits same sex marriage. But ये है कि it will not be a recognized one. You will not get a marriage certificate, you will not get inheritance right, you will not get divorce right, alimony rights. These rights की debate है यहाँ पे. Nobody is asking allow us, give us right to marry. marry तो आप अभी भी कर सकते हो. But you will not enjoy all the facilities you get with marriage, like alimony, inheritance, जो भी होता है ना, that will not apply to you. In the eyes of law, you will be treated as a single individual. चाहे आप शादीशुदा और रह लो, लिव इन में भी तो रहते हैं लोग, कौन रिकॉग्नाइज कर रहा है? Clear? चलिए इनका आर्गुमेंट को समझ में आया. Supreme Court has said right to marry is not a fundamental right, but it is indeed necessary to recognize a person's right to make choice, and we are not the right forum. The right forum is Parliament of India. Ask them, let them bring law. Chaliye, please remember this. पढ़ लेना आगे उनको. जल्दी से 2-3 प्रोविजन और हमें डील करने हैं. 377 एंड ट्रांसजेंडर इशू, दोनों इशू देख लेते हैं. Section 377, the unnatural sex. Understand the word it deals with. It was enacted by Britishers. Because Christianity, देखिए आप भी जो बात कह रहे हो क्रिश्चियन नैरेटिव है, हिंदू नैरेटिव नहीं है. अगर देखना तो खुजराहो के टेंपल चले जाओ, वहां पे आपको जो दिखेगा आप सोच भी नहीं पाओगे. ठीक है, it is not only same sex but it is also between species, animal human sex. वहां पे literally carved out है on the temple itself. We have written Kama Sutra, we come from that society. अब ये नैरेटिव कैसे बना? Understand Macaulay minute. You will study that in modern history. Macaulay said it was asked what kind of education we should give to Indians. He said, if you really want to enslave Indians, first destroy their culture. And how would you destroy their culture? Impose Christian values on them through English. आपने वो मूवी देखी अक्षय कुमार की OMG 2 अभी आई है? Watch it. उसमें यही आर्गुमेंट एंड में है. except that all are unjust. वैसे भी यहाँ पे सारे sinners बैठे हैं इसके मुताबिक, because they also say if you get into a union or sexual relationship before marriage, that is also a sin. That they go to this extent. So this provision says that whosoever voluntarily has carnal intercourse against the order of nature with any man, woman, or animal shall be punished with imprisonment for life or imprisonment that is extendable up to 10 years. It further says that penetration is sufficient to constitute carnal intercourse. So to understand, it is outlawing except normal vaginal intercourse, all other forms. जो आजकल नई फॉर्म बन गई ना, all other forms are unnatural here. पर एक इसके खिलाफ इस्तेमाल हुआ excessively against LGBTs. But remember, everyone except normal, इसमें वर्ड इस्तेमाल हुआ है order of nature. अब ये क्या होता है किसी को नहीं पता. But किसने इम्पोज किया? Christians. It's Christian morality that was imposed on Hindu morality. Hindu morality has been vast. We have written documents, written sages who have explored sexuality in detail. Kama Sutra, for example, is not a sex position book. It is a book of love and affection. You have Khajuraho temple, there are numerous temples in India where you cannot imagine the sceneries. सबको समझ में आ रहा है? तो it is a British idea. Whether you accept it or not, वो गलत बात है. So we all live in a subjugation of some idea. Some idea we consider common sense because they have been propagated since the time we were born. Clear? तो इसको सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अनुल कर दिया था. In SK Kaushal case, Nath Foundation, Supreme Court upheld this law. Then in Navtesh Singh Chauhar versus United Supreme Court used yoga kartya principle and it argued very beautifully. This is you can write in ethics paper also. It argued that section 377 is arbitrary, so LGBT community possess right like any citizen. This line is very beautiful. Majoritarian views and popular morality cannot dictate constitutional rights. But the society believes just. What is the popular morality? Means what majority of the people believe. It will not dictate your constitutional right. And constitution talks about individual liberty. Again, a Western notion. मैं आपको समझाया था the individual liberty originated in the West in a particular historical context of Renaissance. आप पढ़ेंगे वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री में. Renaissance, the rebirth of individualism. सबको समझ में आ रहा है? Supreme Court said that majority view and popular morality will never dictate your constitutional rights. Second, that autonomy of individual is important. He or she cannot surrender it to anyone, and homosexuality is not a mental disorder. All points were very good. देखिए इसमें एक बड़ी चीज लगती है मेरे को. All these religions, they keep on fighting. Go to any media channel, वहाँ पे 24 hours there is a Maulana, there is a Pandit fighting with each other. But whenever anything progressive happen in the society, all are on the same side. हाँ ये गलत है. बाकी सब में they are fighting, but on these things, because this word है ना mental or disorder, this is a word used by all religious organizations in India. कोई भी हो, किसी को भी आप उठा लीजिए. They think that homosexuality is a mental disease. Supreme Court ने क्लियर बोला it is not a mental disease. इसमें एक लाइन में लिख नहीं पाया. Justice Indu Malhotra. Justice Indu Malhotra said in this judgment that history owes an apology to the LGBT community for denying their rights since historically. Strong statement. That history owes an apology to the people. History तो वैसे भी apology भी करता है a lot of people. Because history में तो बहुत कुछ हुआ है. ठीक है clear? So this statement is very good. Next, what is yoga करते हैं? Yoga karta principle are the set of binding international legal standards in relation to sexual orientation and gender identity. If basic yoga karta is in Indonesia, वहाँ पे the country came together and they agreed on rooting out this gender identity and sexual orientation based discrimination. अब कमाल की बात, this provision section 377 was introduced by Britishers in India, but they do not have this provision in their country. हम उनकी मोरालिटी पे डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. They gave us this morality, imposing since immaculate and minute. We are taking their narrative. They do not believe in their narrative themselves. Attainment is not illegal to be homosexual. They can marry even. But यहाँ पे नहीं कर सकते. तो their morality which they have discarded, we are keeping the same. सबको समझ में आया? चलिए last point और एक doctrine of progressive relation of ideas रखिएगा. Edmund Burke has said that constitution embodies the spirit of a nation which is allowable. Basically meaning the constitution must expand itself over time as new values, new ideas become common sense. A constitution where we have limited 6 rights, but Supreme Court over time interpreting those rights have kept on expanding the horizon. Virtually आज तो कुछ भी आपका right बन जाता है. Clear यहाँ तक? Please remember these statements. Next देख लेते हैं transgender. Supreme Court has recognized in Nalsa versus Union of India case that transgender shall be recognized as a third category of gender. They are not LGB. LGB is a sexual orientation. Transgender is a fact. फर्क समझ में आ रहा है? LGB is your sexual orientation. Lesbian, gay, bisexual is a sexual orientation. This is a biological fact, and now they are recognized as a third category of gender, and it directly the center the state to treat them socially and educationally backward class and give them reservation under OBC quota. So some state treat them as socially and educationally backward. आपको पता ही हमारी पुलिस कितना अच्छा काम करती है, so they are doing their work. Anyway, India voted in favor of rights of transgender in 1994. Now states have something called Transgender Welfare Board. After this judgment, they have created Transgender Welfare Board. What this board does, under this law, transgender person, the Supreme Court judgment. After that, it is a recognized norm. Now you have a law protecting their rights. Plus, you have a transgender welfare board. What this law says, जल्दी देख लेते हैं. This act defines a transgender person as having whose gender does not match the gender assigned to that person at birth. That means trans man or trans woman. Person with intersex variation, gender queer, person involving socio-cultural identities like Kinnar, Hijra, Arami, Jubi. These are regional names in India. Basically, this is the definition of transgenders in the law. How would you get transgender? The DM, the district magistrate of the state concerned, will issue a certificate of you being a transgender. Then you can use that to avail government services. Clear? Please remember this. DM issues that. इसमें you will get education, employment, and healthcare में there should be no discrimination. बहुत ड्रामे पढ़ लेते. Limitation of the law, limitation सबको पता ही है. चलो पता. What is the limitation? Limitation here, just because law recognizes something, it does not mean society recognizes something. But मैं फिर बोलूँगा, we cannot wait for the society to change. जैसे for example, we made the marriage age for boys as 21 and girls to 18. क्या उससे child marriage रुक गए इंडिया में? नहीं रुके. But इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी ना कि we will wait for the society to change. The government is thinking to make it 21 for the girls as well. और कर देना चाहिए. तो इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी ना कि the girls will not be married before 21. They will be. But over time, this 21 will become a common sense. समझ में आ रहा है? We cannot wait for society to change. अगर वेट करेंगे तो पता नहीं कब चेंज होगी. If you feel something, to do it. ठीक है? चलिए बाबा, ये था आज जल्दी से खत्म करना था मुझे. Just go through this and जो भी हो देखा जाएगा. चलिए बाबा, we'll meet again next Saturday with full class. ये हमारी सेमी क्लास की. क्या? पता नहीं, 1 घंटे चल रहा है. 1 घंटा काम मिलेगा, 2 घंटे काम मिलेगा. Yes, very welcome Aditi. Bye bye. We'll meet again next Saturday. And this PDF is available on the portal access I have given you. देखो आप इनको सुना. Very welcome everyone. Gonna be appreciated. Yes, you do.